Welcome to Greenville, North Carolina. Big game in the American Athletic tonight in women's basketball. The Temple Owls come to town with just 8 players on the active roster. They want to take down the ECU Pirates, who are red hot as we enter the final month of the regular season. We welcome you courtside with the Liberty Flames legend, Brittany Hoyt. I'm Evan Budrovich. This ECU team was picked 11th in the preseason poll. With a win tonight, they can move into 2nd place. What's impressed you about ECU?
Well, what's so great about this group and their mantra all year is you don't have to be who they say you are, which really means that they are proving people wrong all year, and they are trending in the right direction, Evan. Offensively and defensively, they have gotten better. Coming off a big road win, tonight's going to be a battle.
We're a month out from the start of the conference tournament, and if the season ended today, South Florida, with its undefeated run, has been really good in the AAC. But all of a sudden, a fight for seeds 2 through 5. You want to stay in the top 5 and earn that first-round bye.
Well, it definitely is, and it just goes to show you how important this game is tonight, because Temple, they have been winning their 3 games in a row before their loss at Houston. So as you see East Carolina, a lot is at stake tonight. East Carolina really strong defensively, Temple strong offensively. We're going to see what happens tonight.
4 teams separated by 1 game in the standings. If Temple wants to climb the ranks, senior guard Aaliyah Nelson must be special tonight.
I tell you what, this senior knows how to get it done, averaging the most minutes out of anyone in conference in the last few games, 39 minutes. She's not coming out of the game, but truly, she is a leader on and off the court. Coach was telling us that she's making shots, she's creating opportunities for other people, and she is their star player. On the other side of the court, we have the freshman phenom and standout Mai Joyner, the Farmville, North Carolina stud, has been getting it done for the Pirates inside. She's almost averaging a double-double, Evan. She has improved so much as a freshman. Focus for her tonight is, can she be consistent? Can she stay out of foul trouble and truly be a threat in the paint and out?
Back-to-back double-doubles for Joyner. That's a new freshman record, 8 in a single season at ECU. We get ready for tip. 16th all-time meeting. Pirates and Owls. ECU won by 21 when these teams last met. And an aggressive play in transition. Coach Diane Richardson for Temple said speed and tempo were the keys for this game. These are 2 teams that love to run.
Well, there's definitely a lot on their shoulders, right, for this Temple group. They lost by 21 at their place. They're coming in with a chip on their shoulder, ready to get back what was lost.
Early touch for Inez Piper, who broke her nose a couple of days ago, playing with the mask as she missed the layup. Down to 8 active players on the roster, and injuries aplenty. And yet, Diane Richardson mentioned this team's been better since those 4 have been out.
Sometimes it is addition by subtraction, and this group is, she said, the culture is high, the effort is high. She has no doubt about the players on this team right now.
The foul's going the other way on East Carolina. That's a Mai Joyner with her first.
Never really good for Mai Joyner to get in foul trouble early, right? It's a little bit mental for her. She's going to have to stay cool, fight through that, and really play clean the rest of this half.
All scoreless early in this first half. East Carolina, one of its biggest wins of the year, at +14 at Central Florida, the reigning champs from last season. And it's been featured on the defensive end. Lead the AAC in scoring defense. Piper breaks down the zone, and that's how you get it done.
That high post spot is huge, and Temple, if they can utilize that, they're going to really go and take advantage versus East Carolina's defense.
This ECU offense, led by Joyner and Danae McNeil, scoring 20 points a game. Here's Danae with her first touch. And these teams last met, McNeil had 25. She was so crucial in the road win as it kicks off her foot. Saved in play by the Owls. East keeps it alive. Great ball movement to Piper, but missing the layup. How's tempo going to play a factor tonight?
Oh, huge. As you can just see, the defense really was up Danae McNeil's nose and really helped, cause that turnover. So control for East Carolina, and as you can just see, Temple, they are up in their space.
Sania Johnson, the captain, operates this offense with 10 on the clock. Nice entry feed down low, and Mosley banks it in.
Nice seal inside. Morgan Mosley, one of my favorite things about her, she does the little things. That was great movement, great power before she caught the ball.
Aaliyah Nelson runs the show for Temple, but she struggled in this last meeting. 6 of 16 shooting and a dominant ECU win. Perea, no trouble from the elbow, her first bucket.
Perea is trending in the right direction the last few games. We'll talk about her later, but great high post catch and score.
Of the 5 starters, they average 90% of the scoring. It all comes from this starting 5. Here's a Maya Joyner, back-to-back double-doubles. Nice spin move, but comes up short. Now has to get back on defense. Temple loves to run with Aaliyah Nelson. The reigning CAA Player of the Year at Towson leads to an open 3. And Piper's there for the rebound, but it kicks off.
I tell you what, Temple right now has great effort. You can just see, and Coach Richardson told us, you know, beware of the stamina. As you can see, a great 3 right there, and so close. Piper is so close getting that rebound, but I love their pace. And again, they're not threatened by ECU's tempo and up-pace defense.
Great ball handoff and a pretty layup to tie it for McNeil.
Danae McNeil getting her going early is always a good recipe for success.
And McNeil in conference play has been insane scoring the basketball. 19 points a game. That's 3rd best in the league.
She really has come alive since December. Just so happy for her.
Terriana Gary answers with a jumper. Another Towson transfer finding her confidence.
Great pull-up jumper. Shooting when open is so good, especially against their matchup.
Micah Dennis, who started 10 straight games in the point guard position. There's a nice pass from Joyner that's rejected by Piper. Call her Swiper, taking shots away. East the other direction, can't hit. All of a sudden, back and forth we go in the first 4 minutes.
Micah Dennis doing a great job controlling the tempo, getting her group in the half-court set and offense for the Pirates.
McNeil off the switch. That's a tough shot. Good rebound for Temple. Perea swings it ahead to East. Temple wants to break down this defense quickly, but East can't hit the layup. What must East Carolina do to slow the basketball down and get a bucket?
They definitely need to get into their half-court offense, and most importantly, Evan, ball reversals. Anytime you can reverse the basketball, the more successful you are and the better rebounding position you are as well.
We see 3 players touch the ball early. What a pass to Joyner, and she's fouled on the way up, but that all got started with great ball movement.
That was a great pass by Micah Dennis, getting them in a set and just a free throw opportunity for Joyner.
Foul on Perea here. She didn't like the call. Kid McNeil noted this week, we have to defend screens better. We have to play better off screens, because when her defense is guarding those screens, you see it. One of the best in the country at forcing turnovers.
Look at that, and you got to attribute it to just the last few years, what she has built with this culture and this program and this group is bought in. One of the best seasons under Kim McNeil, but nationally ranked, Evan, in so many defensive categories, and they are just getting it done on the defensive end.
Joyner hits the free throw, and she knows she's coming out for a couple of minutes. That'll open the door for Isis Adams at a Kernersville, a sophomore. And you noted with Kim there, continuing that conversation with a true freshman. She's a double-double machine, and yet the coaching continues.
It really does, and she wants them better in every way possible, and that's why she's such a player's coach and why she is such...
Oh boy, McNeil to steal. That defense, 2nd in the country in forcing this exact play, the turnover.
They do it so well, even in that full court capacity. It's difficult, even for Aaliyah Nelson.
Dennis zigzags in the lane. Good defense by East. Nelson open 3. That's a bit strong, a little tip drill. Look at McNeil sprint up the court, fading away for the bucket and a 2-point lead.
McNeil through traffic. That is difficult for anyone, but just pure for the senior.
Diane Richardson said, McNeil's going to score buckets. We have to make them difficult. When you're hitting shots like that, good luck defensively.
It is so true. Great tip. This is what East Carolina does. They get tips on balls.
And Perea throws it away. Danae McNeil's taken over this basketball game.
She really knows how to get it done. McNeil through traffic for 2.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Danae McNeil taking over this game with 4 points. She's becoming a true leader. Last meeting, she had 25 points. The Pirates pulled away in the second half because of their all-conference stand-down.
Well, and if she's getting it done from defense as well, and it starts getting tips on balls, but she's so creative in the paint, has great footwork, can obviously catch and shoot the three, but is just such a great pull-up jump shooter as well. As you can see, the numbers from the night, the glaring point for me, 42 points in the paint, Evan. Wow.
Right now it's 4-2, a little more back and forth, up and gun, but in that second half, ECU took over. It was a rare win for the Pirates, too, snapping a multiple game losing streak. Dated back 3 years, their last victory over Temple. And these teams are jam-packed. Peanut butter jelly in the middle of the conference standings. As McNeil rattles it out. Good board by Isis Adams. And this ball slips around to Aaliyah Nelson, the elite playmaker.
Good East Carolina.
Here's our first sub of the night for Temple. Brittany Garner through traffic. Second chance and a foul. Offensive rebounding is not a strength of the Owls, but important on that possession.
It really is, and it's definitely going to be something I'll be looking at tonight. That's something that East Carolina have really struggled with, is boxing out in the last few weeks. And again, missing that board right there is another opportunity. Now 2 more free throws. So it's going to be a huge point of emphasis to see what Temple can handle tonight. As you can see, Diane Richardson,
who was excellent at Towson, gets the job at Temple this summer. Comes the new athletic director, new president, and brings a lot of confidence and charisma to this program.
She really does, and brought some of her players with her, and is excited for what is to come with the culture of the group, and again, with who she has on her team. She said the group is phenomenal, and they're just ready to work.
And she said less is more. 8 players active on the Temple roster. 2 more via transfer that'll be ready next year. But right now, it's all hands on deck, fitting in a land of Pirates, hanging on here in the final month of the regular season. Open 3 for ECU, and that's a bit strong from Bobby Smith. Aaliyah Nelson can glide over the court. Reminds me of Jamal Crawford, so nifty with the basketball. And Nelson draws the foul. What's the assignment for Micah Dennis tonight?
I tell you what, she just needs to contain penetration, and keeping Nelson in front of her is so important. Keeping hands off right there. Micah Dennis was like, I didn't really have my hands on her, but keep her in front of you.
Nelson with 10 games in double figures. She can score in a hurry for this Temple squad. Now Aaliyah wants a foul, and she gets it. This is the challenge of guarding Nelson. She draws more fouls than any player in the AAC. It's a hard assignment.
Well, what she does great is she actually uses her body to go catch the basketball, right? And kind of uses that as a defense. And it's a tough call for a referee when you're using your body like that. And Danae McNeil just bumped into her.
This while Temple hasn't scored in 3.5 minutes. Perea with a great find, and that breaks the scoreless drought.
Cutting through that defensive matchup is a way to get 2 points.
Michaela Waleed out of Maryland with the bucket, one of 4 Maryland products on this roster. McNeil driving with a head of steam. Missed the jumper though. And we have a foul here. It's on Temple. Good effort by Dennis on the boards. Waleed called for it.
You can see how tough it is for McNeil to get a shot right now. You know that is the #1 thing on this scouting report, is contain Danae McNeil. And it's going to be difficult. So what does everybody else have to do? Get in rebounding position. So great job, Micah Dennis.
Dennis now to inbound it with a fresh 20. McNeil's coming off 3 straight 20-point games. Maybe forcing that one up a bit. No foul called. Waleed with the baseball pass intercepted. Talk about the Super Bowl this Sunday. Great play by the secondary.
I'll tell you what, Temple is trying to run. They really are trying to get those transition points. Just couldn't get that one done.
Tie game, final 2 minutes of the first quarter. ECU won by 20 when these teams met in Philly. Now Joyner one-on-one. Blows into Garner and can't hit. The Pirates only shooting 25%.
Yeah, just tough, right? A one-pass shot. Maybe another ball reversal may have been better for that possession.
There's this matchup zone for Kid McNeil. Best scoring defense in the league, top 5 in the country. Behind South Carolina of Dawn Staley, who has Temple ties in her coaching tenure. Waleed banks it in, and now Temple's out in front.
What a tough take and finish. That's what Temple has got to do. Be aggressive offensively, get points in the paint.
Michaela Walid only averages 1 point per game. She has 4 tonight and affecting that pass. This is what it takes. 8 players on the roster. Everyone has to play.
Well, Diane she told us, Coach Richardson told us that what's so great is everyone is stepping up. So it could be anyone's career high on any given night. And it's so great when you see the potential of players just get met and met. Again, just getting points on the board.
Since the roster's been trimmed to 8, a 3-1 record, and the defense has been good, holding teams to 58 a night. Joyner flings it up. Ooh, that just rattled out. Perea the rebound.
Solid defense. Joyner just couldn't get that one to fall, but a great look.
Here's Nelson, can trigger from anywhere, but maybe not there. An air ball from 3. I love the confidence, though, of the shooter, Aaliyah Nelson.
Absolutely, and Perea, too, just kind of like, hey, this is for you, this is your shot, but just not the right look right now.
Aaliyah Nelson shoots more threes than anyone in the AAC. When they're making them at 33%, it's good. It's the other 66
That's
you
right.
have to balance.
She's got the green light.
55 made triples for Nelson. ECU's gone scoreless for 3.5 minutes. Alexia Rose checks in, finds Jayla Herp. Here's Sania Johnson, so a younger lineup on the court as the shot clock hits 10. Rose lobs it inside. Joyner into Piper and draws a foul. The pick and roll ability of the Pirates, that'll be important against this defense.
It really is, and after almost 4 minutes of a scoring drought, they really are. They're searching for a bucket.
ECU enters this game with some big numbers. 15 wins, the most in the McNeil tenure. And when you're picked 11th in the coaches poll, currently 3rd, could move to 2nd with a couple of wins, even a win tonight. That says a lot about a team with a month to go.
It really does. This group kind of turned it around in that SMU game, and Kim McNeil said that she finally saw belief in this group, and the confidence is contagious, and this final month is going to be exciting to watch.
Kim also said it's great to be out of the state of Florida. Busy travel week to South Florida and Central Florida. As here's a turnover forced. The energy of Kim McNeil's Pirate Club coming to play.
The pressure defense is just so hard, Evan. If you just sent 2 people to your face, I mean, I would love to see how you handled the pass too. So
I would stop, drop, and roll.
So it's difficult, and Walid again did the best she could, but then caught a foul again when they had possession of the basketball.
4th turnover for Temple in this first quarter. Joyner is begging for the ball in the post on the Garner matchup. Nelson nearly had a steal.
Temple has done a great job defensively. They are jumping passing lanes and being so active.
Rose pirouettes the lane. Johnson kicks out with a clock at 2. This is off in time, but shot clock violation.
You got to give it to Temple. Their defense is tough right now. They're really taking East Carolina out of their half-court set in their offense. And
now Temple can shoot for the lead in the final 10 seconds. Nelson off the screen. The conference's leader in 3-pointers gets to the corner and is tipped out of bounds. It'll stay here. Who do you trigger to? 3 seconds left.
Let's see, let's get Nelson coming off some screens. 3 seconds, plenty of time. You can actually get up to 3 dribbles, Evan. So this is a great time to get to the rim, maybe even draw a foul before the first quarter ends.
East to inbound, finds Garner, attacks, throws it up, and that ends the first quarter. Fast break plays aplenty in a 10-10 score.
I tell you what a first quarter of action. Fast-paced. Temple, they're really getting it done on both ends, but Pirates, Danae McNeil, let's see what happens. 10-10 after the first. Get out the way.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Big shoes to fill for both these programs. Temple graduates its all-time leading scorer, Maya Davis. In comes Diane Richardson, brings in a bunch of transfers. And Kim McNeil having to fill the role of Heather Macy, now having her best year with 15 wins.
Well, I think both of these women have inherited great programs, right? And they're really trying to mold these groups and bring in their flavor, if you will. And again, Diane Richardson, a legend, honestly, in women's college basketball and coaches. And Kim McNeil has looked up to Diane for quite some time, but they both have done a great job and really, as every coach is, trying to turn that program around and to just really create a new standard.
Kim and Diane had a big discussion after their last matchup in January, staying the course, being patient, understanding, hey, we're not going to win right away. It took McNeil till now year 4 to have a great season. Temple looking to do so on the road, as McNeil says not so fast. McNeil's a great stealer of the basketball. I don't talk about her shot blocking a lot.
I tell you what, she's so athletic, and as you can see right there, that just shows her athleticism, her length to be able to block a post player inside like that.
ECU enters this game 5th in blocks, but 1st in steals in the AAC. Very disruptive. Nelson with 5 on the clock. Tough shot. That bounces out. Tip drill. Touched last by the Temple Owls.
Again, Nelson trying to really create an opportunity for her group to build momentum to get some things going.
ECU hasn't scored in 5 minutes. How do they change that?
I think for them, it's going to be settling in offensively. And what does that come from? I mentioned earlier, ball reversals. And for them, it's just trusting their sets. And that's something that Kim McNeil has been working with them on, is trusting their half-court set. Ball screens, getting better in the details so that they can see the ball go through the hoop.
Terriana Gary called for the foul. This East Carolina club started the game shooting 60%, now at 3 of 15. And yet, all that being said, tie game, minute into the second quarter. Dennis finds McNeil, who has multiple AAC Player of the Week honors on her belt. A great crossover to go with it, but missing the jumper. Rebound Johnson with a block by East. It's like running into the Bears' den trying to get an open shot down low in the paint.
It really is, and obviously McNeil a little cold right now, so it's going to take other people to step up. Sania Johnson doing that with an offensive board. It's what it's going to take.
Nearly a 5-minute drought for the Pirates. Joyner and McNeil have 4 each, but that's about it. 2 more for Mosley. There's Joyner down low, gets the switch on Garner. Little hezzy, the fade, and a miss.
Just cannot get the ball to go through the hoop. Good execution, good look. Again, just may need to be a little extra.
Nice tip by Mosley. How about the effort defensively from the Pirates?
Mosley, I just love the way she plays. She does the details. She takes charges. She gets tips. It's just what she does.
Because that's a layup for Garner, if not.
No doubt.
And we saw in the first quarter Temple with those backdoor cuts, really effective. Here's Nelson from the corner, and it rattles out. Tip drill to Aaliyah. Has a magnet on his paws. Really good. Great pass to East. And a foul. McNeil getting confirmed there. So her second foul. Do you keep Danae McNeil in with 2 early?
You take her out just to protect her for the second half, but Kim McNeil does not agree with that call. Definitely looked like it was all ball from here. Maybe a little bit on the wrist. And Jayla Herb comes in for her.
So with that, McNeil heads to the bench, and this East Carolina team has been carried by McNeil. Temple, meanwhile, they've played really well since the dismissal of a couple of players, including Deja Clinton, who was a double-figure scorer. If Temple can make free throws like that, 74%, they're going to win a lot of games.
Well, and that comes from being aggressive and getting in the paint, and it pays off. They're getting it done at the free throw line, and their offense is really trending in the right direction.
First points in 3 minutes for either team. ECU has still not scored since the 4:55 mark of the first quarter.
Temple chasing on screens, and they're even going under, but they are denying every ball reversal.
Open 3. That's way off the backboard. Good effort to save it, and it's thrown over to Garner. Love the hands there by Jayla Herb. Now East in transition. Gary rattles it out. Tip drill. goes the other way. What have you liked about the defensive pressure from Temple today?
Well, they understand the assignment. Their defense is going to lead to their offense. You see the battle for the rebound right here, Evan. What a battle. Morgan Mosley, Perea. Everyone knows what is at stake to try to get these top 4 spots in the conference.
Battle for Johnson. Wiggles through and breaks the 6-minute drought.
Sania Johnson just doing a little thing, using the backboard and really releasing that drought.
As a coach, I can tell the relief you have on your shoulders there. First bucket since the 5-minute mark of the first. Piper, a great pass to Gary. And that duo came in red hot, 40% from 3. Gary and Nelson, quiet tonight though. Herb nearly rolls it in. Free throws for the talented freshman at Hampton, Virginia.
Jayla Herb, she's been a great addition to this program. It's a great move right here. Use your body, get position first, and then go to the backboard. Just couldn't get that one to fall. She was out for a few games for concussion protocol, but back, and again, she's just had great energy.
Big nugget, Herb, 19 of 19 from the line in conference. As that continues. Kim McNeil noted, we spend extra time in free throws all week. We want to execute them, but as a team, they're only shooting 61%.
It is. At that point, Evan, it just becomes so mental. It's free, and you take your time and see it through the rim.
Does set up the pressing defense of the Pirates. 5 forced turnovers in the quarter, and now a 6th. Transition play for Johnson. This is where Temple's been good avoiding those fast break points.
They really have. They're settling in. And as mentioned earlier, their defense is so solid right now. They're trusting their offense will come, but they understand they have got to stop the Pirates in the half court.
Dennis backs down Nelson. Good little spin move, but missed the layup. Garner the rebound.
It was good execution. Just Dennis couldn't get that one to fall, but a great job for the point guard.
Nice dime by Nelson. Knocked in from East, a corner 3.
We knew East was going to knock it down eventually. Wide open 3. Great look.
We have a whistle and a mission contact lens, but let's check out this 3.
Nelson drawing in that defense, and then East. No one around. With this defense, Evan, you have to be ready to catch and shoot because it's a really type of a run and jump defense. And
it's actually a bloody nose, as a matter of fact. Those are never fun.
Never fun.
You get a certain amount of time to repair the bandage or basically stop the bleeding. You have to sub out. Let's see how quickly the athletic training staff, Kelsey Riley and company, can clean things up. Looks like a sub will have to come in here. So Kamora Jenkins enters. Kamora has not been a mainstay in the lineup. Only 3 minutes in her last performance. That was a big road win at UCF. Kim McNeil said everything started to click for our club on offense and defense.
It really has, and I think this group is finally starting to settle in, but they still need to fine-tune some things. She told us they're really working on screening this past few days.
How about working on jump shots? Dennis hits the bunny.
Micah Dennis, so good from 15 feet, and she just has a threat as a point guard to be able to catch and shoot and create as well.
Dennis has entered the lineup 10 straight games as a starter. Her offense is starting to click, 10 points a game, leading to a steal for Jenkins. Fresh in the lineup and making an impact. Now to the bucket. Jenkins gets free throws. Love to see it, instant impact off the bench.
Had great patience right there, trying to read the defense. Amazing hands right there, getting to the rim.
And this is what East Carolina does best, 25 forced turnovers a game. Right now, second in the country to Niagara. It is fitting. All these teams have almost played each other this year from an ECU standpoint. Hampton,
Are they sharing their tools for success?
But certainly what ECU does defensively causes trouble for an opponent.
It really does. It's difficult. It's causing havoc. It's disruptive, and it works, Evan. So East Carolina, it's their bread and butter, and They're doing it tonight already with 6 turnovers for Temple.
We see Denise Solis come in, so all 8 that are available have checked in for the Temple Owls tonight. This is the question that Diane Richardson had. How can our stamina stay hold? Sometimes shooting's a factor, like that short 3. What a look by Dennis to Joyner. Good luck to Nelson, and Joyner gets it in.
The spin move for Joyner.
Here's a tip drill and a turnover forced. What have the Pirates done to ramp up the speed of this game?
Well, it started with a stop, some defensive stops, and scores on the other end. Amaya Joyner with the spin move.
And ECU is now up 4 in this second quarter. During Black History Month, ESPN amplifies our year-round commitment to Black history always, covering and telling those great stories of Black and African-American experience in the realm of sports. Today, we're focusing on Tina Sloan Green. She was the Temple lacrosse head coach from '75 to '92, and really good. The first Black player in the U.S. Women's National Field Hockey, a Black coach of a women's lacrosse team, and she coached Temple to 2 national titles, 11 Final Fours, one of the pillars of this Temple University program.
Really is. She just is a legend and just broke so many barriers and just made history in so many ways. And
after the missed 3, Coach McNeil and Coach Richardson, African-American women, mentioned it's important to have leaders and role models who look like their players.
And they are committed to doing that and really preparing all of these girls for life after basketball.
4-point game early in the second quarter. Leah Nelson, the all-conference standout, misses the jumper. And Richardson said, hey, I want to have a staff that can teach our players how to ace an interview and ace a basketball game. It was kind of neat talking to her pregame.
It really is. And as my coach told me, one day the air will come out of the ball, right? So what are you going to do after? Because not everybody gets to play professionally. It's not for everyone. So both of these coaches committed to preparing these girls for life.
As Temple commits its 8th turnover, and Diane Richardson was a heck of an athlete, an Olympian in the 1980 Olympics, didn't compete due to the Russia conflict, but a great coach, was a COO for 10 years, like knows how to build a business, build herself, get a master's, and now lead this program in year 1.
What's so great is to look up to a coach like that who you've seen be successful on and off the court as a coach and as a businesswoman, and there's so much to aspire to for these ladies to look up to.
Now Diane Richardson's team's down 4 minutes to play in the half. They've held ECU scoreless for much of this quarter. Sania Johnson cuts in late in the clock and gets it.
Sania Johnson is so tough. I love how low she plays.
How low can you go?
Exactly. And she finishes inside.
6-point game thanks to the late bucket from the Pirates with a foul underneath. So Lise was hacked. Neither team in much foul trouble, only the second team foul for ECU.
Well, on both ends, you can just tell how high the antics are defensively. You know, East Carolina on this end, and then on the other end, Temple really increasing it. It's difficult to catch the basketball and really to make a bucket.
How do you break down this defense if you're Temple? 8-0 run for the Pirates.
As earlier, catch and shoot, be ready to catch the basketball, but create off the bounce. That's what they're good at.
Nelson is wide open, begging for the ball, and that's why a big three for Temple.
Catch and shoot. That is a way to break this defense down. Nelson for a big three.
And how about now Nelson, who's been the top scorer for this team all year long, 15 a game, anchoring the defense up top. She wants this assignment.
She does, and she's locking them down. Micah Dennis and anyone else involved as well.
McNeil remains on the bench with 2 fouls, so Jenkins misses. Second chance, Mosley. That one bounces out. The rims are unkind in Greenville tonight.
They really are. I hope the second half is better for the Pirates. It's just been a little difficult to get some of those easies. Great pull-up jumper for Nelson, just couldn't get that one to fall.
Nice look to Jenkins, who took the extra step. East Carolina with 6 turnovers.
That's one of those unforced turnovers, but it's a dead ball turnover. You get to set up your defense, so.
And good news, Jayla Hurp has her nose all plugged up, ready to play. I'm a mouth breather myself at night, so I couldn't imagine trying to breathe through one nostril, not to mention 2.
So true.
And with the track pace speed of this game, we've seen from the jump, Temple willing to push the pace, and that's how you break down this aggressive trapping defense. Nice catch by Gary.
Great ball movement, Temple passing the basketball. Ball reversals is the name of the game.
Look at Kim McNeil getting her defensive stance. This trap D, 25 forced turnovers a game. East fades and comes up short. Joyner hangs on to it. Joyner back-to-back double-doubles, now with 8. Kid McNeil challenged her. We want more points. We want to see her score 15, 20 a night, not just rebound the ball.
She really is a matchup nightmare and could honestly.
Look at this nightmare. Solis banging around, drawing the foul. So taking the aggression of Joyner the other way for an offensive. That's a heady play by a defensive player.
It really is, and you got to give it to Solis. Is really taking a hit.
I can tell Amaya Joyner deadlifts a good amount of weight. She can move some bodies down low. But like any sport, there's its strengths and weaknesses, and you take advantage of that power against her.
That's right. And I mentioned earlier, keeping her out of foul trouble. Here she is with 2, sitting down for the first half.
McNeil and Joyner, who combined for 30 points a game, they're on the bench for ECU.
Their offense is on the bench, so who's going to step up? That's been the question of the year for the Pirates.
And now Temple can tie it with a 3. East on the drive. That was a bit wide. Micah Dennis crossing over everybody into the front court. An ECU club does not shoot the 3 very well. 0 for 3 tonight. They want to attack the basket.
They really do. They, again, in this man offense, running people off screens, trying to create off the bounce.
Look at Hurp on the drive and 1. Chance to complete it at the line.
Herb doing the dirty work really before that. Again, great movement off ball to catch it.
And look at the feet inside the restricted arm.
It's a great take in the paint and tough for the freshman.
Jayla Hurp averaged 6 points a game in the conference, but all of a sudden with Joyner out, now players like Smith and Hurp will have to step up as true freshmen.
It is, and they have it in them. Kim McNeil does a great job of breathing belief into her bench players and saying, hey, if McNeil's going to be off, or
is that more an existential thing or like a physical thing?
Both.
I heard her say that, and I wanted to ask, like, well, how do you breathe belief into someone?
It's contagious, you know, and it's
a team that was picked 11th in the preseason is clearly believing in themselves with a steal here. Dennis and the Pirates up 6, final minute of the half. Make it 6 for now. And a wrestle for the rebound. A foul the other way on ECU. Herp with a tackle. Gain of 2.
There has got to be something on the rim on this end that is preventing. There have been so many rolls on the rim, Evan. I'm not sure what is preventing. But again, I told you earlier, a battle for the boards. Foul right there from Jayla Herp.
Each team is 1 foul away from the bonus with a minute left in this quarter. Temple, despite 4 turnovers in this quarter, has hung around, down 6. Outside of Nelson, where's the scoring going to come from tonight? She's 1 of 8 from the field. So now in 2 games, Nelson shooting 20% against this aggressive defense. Solis had an option, but a foul and free throws the rest of the quarter.
What's so hard about this defense is they really do, they jump passing lanes, right? So at any point in time there's body contact, it can be caused as a foul. So again, that's what's so hard about this defense in East Carolina. It's a detail that they've just got to get a little better at cleaning up, especially going into that last month of the season.
Solis to the line. While Temple's been really good at the free throw line, Solis has not been the knight in shining armor of the charity stripe. 56%. And this time she bounces it out. ECU could go 2 for 1 here if they want to. Looks like Dennis will slow it down in the final 35 seconds.
And coming off screens.
Here's Herp, open 3. And a rebound for Nelson. Temple can hold for the final shot. What do you want to see here?
Well, obviously Nelson has done a great job of creating off the bounce. So I would love for them to get to the paint, draw a foul, get to the free throw line.
Down to 10 seconds. Here's Nelson on the Herp matchup. Into the paint, Solis with the foul. Brittany Hoyt drawing it up just right. Free throws for Temple.
Well, they're doing a good job of executing, and that was just a inner screen the screener, and Solis to the free throw line. Let's see if she can redeem herself.
Missed her last 2. Temple in league play is nearly 80%. They've been really good. And that time, perfect swish. This to cut it to a 4-point game before halftime. And a second chance, Piper. Nelson, look at this. Step back 3 is in to end the first half. Aaliyah Nelson is a star here in Greenville.
What a step back 3. Aaliyah Nelson from deep.
NBA 2K23 from Nelson. We got a heck of a game through 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome into halftime here in the American Studios. I'm Morgan Uber. Memphis guard Kendrick Davis broke not one, but two conference records in the same game. Plus, South Florida head coach Jose Fernandez became the all-time winningest coach in American Conference history. We've got all of that for you in top plays, plus some flashy plays. And first at number 5 with women's hoops, we've got Cincinnati at Tulsa. Early second quarter, Clarissa Craig goes full spin cycle to the basket. This is one way to fly through the eye of a golden hurricane, but Tulsa stormed back to win by 14. We've got more women's hoops at number 4, East Carolina at South Florida. Carla Burrito across the baseline and puts it in reverse. Burrito, the freshman, with the Pirates D swarming hand in the face, and the freshman still flips in this beauty. And we've got more from this game here in a moment. But first, at number 3, Tulane at Memphis men's hoops. The inbound gets away from the Tigers and right in the hands of Sion James. James goes whoop right around Keon Kennedy with this Euro step. And the Green Wave snap a 16 home game win streak for Memphis in overtime. Coming in at number 2, we've got more from the Pirates Bulls. An inbound play that goes oh so right for Elena Chineka, right off the back of the Pirates defender. The dish to herself, and she lays it in with ease. The Bulls roll, and this win right here gives head coach Jose Fernandez win number 118, tying him at number 1 for the most wins in the conference with UConn's Gino Auriemma. Finally, our top play. We've got men's hoops 1 versus 2 in the conference standings. Houston at Temple. Marcus Sasser, are you kidding me? A Euro step that's out of this world. Sasser just smooth as smooth could be, and Houston stays number 1 in the American, slides up to number 2 in the nation after this 81-65 win over the Owls. And for our power move of the week, give it up to Memphis guard Kendrick Davis, the reigning player of the year, setting 2 American records in one half against Tulane. Davis became the conference's all-time assist leader with this dish right here, number 579. And just 8 minutes later at the charity stripe, he picked up yet another record, 493 made free throws and counting. Remember, if you ever see a top play happen live, you can let us know on social media using the hashtag #AmericanTopPlays and tweet at the American Conference at American_conf. Be sure to keep it right here on ESPN Plus. We've got much more coming up for you right after this.
A low-scoring track meet in the first half, 24-22 ECU, as we wrap up one of the final months of the season here in college basketball. With Brittany Hoyt, I'm Evan Budrovich. How about this Temple team slowing down East Carolina and hanging around in this game? How have they done it to stay so close?
They have battled the entire first half, and what was so great was they disrupted East Carolina truly in the half court and made it very difficult. They really took out Danae McNeil. They took Joyner out as well, got them in foul trouble. So you got to give it to them. They really battled. And again, Aaliyah Nelson to finish out the first half. Not bad.
That three was incredible. No player with more than 6 in the first half. Very balanced. And I'm curious, how does that play out in the second half when both teams have options all over the court?
They really do. It's kind of even going into the second half. So Temple, what do they need to do? Continue to really capitalize on getting it in the paint and finishing inside. And then on the other side, East Carolina, the same thing. They've got to be able to finish and execute in the half court.
An interesting first quarter. I want to dive into those highlights because Temple pushed the tempo early and took advantage with some layups.
They really did a great job of finishing in the paint, really catching at that high post and finishing inside. Morgan Mosley doing the dirty work and the details for the Pirates.
Ball movement was really good in that first half too. A combined 11 assists between the clubs.
Danae McNeil alone, I think 4 points in the first half, not many.
But she only played 8 minutes, got in foul trouble early. While McNeil was in the game, she was tough to stop.
She really is. Hopefully more of her buckets will fall in the second half for the Pirates. Nelson creating off the bounce. That's what she does great, finding open shooters. That beautiful spin move from Joyner.
And once Aaliyah Nelson gets hot, she can take over from 3.
What's so difficult too, Evan, is that actually came from an offensive rebound off a free throw. You know Kim McNeil went in to the locker room, may or may not have thrown a clipboard. I don't know, but I'm sure she probably did.
Pretty even stat-wise. Of course, it's a 2-point game, but something to note, East Carolina has forced 9 turnovers, but they've only had 4 points on those turnovers.
They have stopped their transition, and you know that that was a point of emphasis for this club. East Carolina is great in transition. That is their bread and butter. You got to give it to Temple. They are truly locked in this ballgame.
And ECU, the worst free throw team in the league at 8 and 9 in the first half. Pretty incredible. When we come back, second half of action, 2-point game, battle for the top 2 or 3 seeds in the league. Do not go anywhere. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. My. Welcome back to Greenville. ECU 13-1 this year when leading at halftime. They're up 2 in the early going, but we'll focus on Temple early because these teams have not hit a lot of shots from the outside. It's been a game where neither team's taken advantage of turnovers, but the balance of Temple scoring's kept them in it.
It really has, and as Coach Richardson told us, on any given night, anyone could be their new really career score, career high, if you will. And tonight, again, it's been a little bit of balanced scoring, as you'll see here from the first half. Did a great job early catching at that mid post, and that is a way to break that matchup zone defense. Perea, catch and shoot. That's what you have to do, especially in a run and jump defense.
With only 8 players available, when you have 7 scoring and all of them at multiple points, that's what Temple has to do.
That is productivity at its finest, getting multiple players going. That is how to be successful and win games.
And then the three-pointers started falling in the second quarter. Not 1, not 2, but here's the third, and maybe my favorite of the game.
That offensive rebound from Piper in the deep 3.
And Aaliyah Nelson said, I'm just going to head to halftime, guys. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Her 6 points were on 2 threes, but she's shooting 2 of 9. The Pirates, meanwhile, 2 players in foul trouble, but balance up and down this line.
Maya Joyner, you can tell the game plan earlier was to seal and get position inside. Danae McNeil going to the rim early.
And when McNeil was on the court, she was unstoppable. 6 points in about 8 minutes and then fouled out with 2.
Great defensive hands right there. Sania Johnson, another great spurt. Micah Dennis, if you could get her going more offensively, that'll help the Pirates in the second half.
And then this play was just muscle and strength from Joyner. ECU was up 6 late in the half, and then Temple slowly crawled back to make it a 2-point game.
They really did, and that just goes to show you the grittiness of Temple. As you can see, the leading scores there for the Pirates.
The motto in Philadelphia is Temple tough, to build on that toughness, that monster that Diane Richardson wants to implement in year 1. McNeil back from foul trouble, misses. Joyner right in, so 13 seconds in, the duo go to work.
Joyner being simple, right? Go back to fundamentals, use the backboard. That's going to be the game plan in the second half.
Joyner has 8 points tonight, leading scorer for anybody on the floor. What a look to Piper for the lay-in. Great find by Perea.
Great ball movement. East Carolina emptying out ball side. Someone's open on the backside.
Temple's defense held ECU to 28% shooting in the first half. Not that ECU is going to light it up offensively, entering at 62 points, but they've done their part. Good back cut Dennis into the trees, and that's going away.
Temple's defense is tough. They're taking East Carolina out of their offensive options.
Wow, Piper was open in the lane. Here's a steal, and a jump ball keeps possession here. How about the activity of ECU early?
It really is. It's difficult for them right now offensively to get going. Then on this end, they're trying to cause havoc with their defense and really stop any momentum that Temple had going out in the first half.
9 first half turnovers for Temple. That's low for an ECU average.
Correct.
They forced 25 a game. And Kim McNeil said in this matchup, we have to force double-digit turnovers.
And Temple just remained calm.
There's a missed 3, Gary. Offensive board, Piper, who broke her nose a couple of days ago playing with a face mask. Like the bad boy Pistons in the 90s, and a down low layup for Perea.
Perea, great ball handling, getting to the rim. Nice finish.
This is a 6-point swing for Temple, first half to second half.
It really is a definite change of events.
Wow, McNeil banks it in somehow. Little English.
Unreal, no contact at all, I guess.
Gary, shot fake. It's like the Phoenix Suns offense, seconds or less, and it'll stay here. What do you feel about Dan Richardson speeding up her offense, going to work quickly?
I like it because what they're doing is then they're working on the backside. Perea had that opportunity for an offensive rebound. You got Piper, who's been battling inside. They're getting it done. Look at Danae McNeil using the backboard. A simple thing, but she's trying to get her stat sheet more up.
Perea misses the jumper. McNeil has 6. Joyner has 8. Those are the top 2 for ECU. And the end of this game combining for nearly 26, 27 a night, if you round up, which I always do. McNeil, a little shimmy, a little crossover, and a bucket. 8 points for McNeil.
Anytime she can see the ball go through the hoop early in a half, it's just going to help her energy be better on the defensive end as well.
McNeil's been a 20-point machine in conference play 6 times in the AAC. Perea's pass is tipped. Nelson is stolen. Here's McNeil making an impact on defense. McNeil has it poked loose. And it will stay here. East got it last. You can tell Danae McNeil's ready to break open like a firecracker and go to work.
She was. That is when she is at her best. Defensively, in transition, from a steal. Fast break points.
She's only 4 of 11 shooting. It's been hard points tonight for the 3rd leading scorer in the AAC.
They're doing a great job defending her.
As Perea's called for the foul on Joyner.
You got East really doing a great job making Danae McNeil work for her points.
It's the 3rd foul on Perea, so big minutes. Good tip drill by Nelson, who has those long arms. NFL scouts love that wingspan, but it helps her on the court as a point guard.
Oh, no doubt. And getting tips and touches like that. Maya Joyner was wide open underneath. And
because Nelson's only 5'6", but she has a 5'11" wingspan. It's gigantic. I wish I was so blessed as Joyner misses the layup. I was blessed with short arms but long legs. Nelson on the drive, and she's blocked with a foul. This is what makes Aaliyah Nelson special. A little one-on-one and let her go to work.
It really is, and going downhill is her strength.
And she's talking to the camera ops, and you know, she's engaged with everybody in the crowd tonight.
Listen, when you're a senior and when you have 7 other teammates, listen, you have nothing to lose. Just leave it all out there, right?
What is the mindset like as a player when you're undermanned and you have to go figure it out yourself?
You realize, hey, this is all we have. We're just gonna leave it all out here, and we're gonna do it together. We're gonna have fun. We're playing college basketball. How much worse could it be?
And yet, Temple, since the roster changes down to 8, are 3-1. They had a bucket to win it late, but missed at Houston. Garner the board, almost an and one. You see an energy and an infection from this Temple team.
I tell you what, it takes heart to get an offensive board like that, and Diane Richardson is getting that from her team right now.
This is the 16th meeting, but Temple has dominated recently. 5 straight wins until January 11th. ECU did a nice job flipping the script and winning by 21.
A great road win for East Carolina, and then Temple, they're hungry to come in here and steal one from the Pirates in their place.
Temple started this win streak at Tulane down in the Bayou, and then at UCF, and then versus Wichita State. That loss against Houston was tough. They were up 12 in the second quarter, up 10 in the third quarter. Watched it slip away late as that rolls out. McNeil running the show. She has 8 points, looking for 6 straight in double figures. Calling her shot, and East the rebound.
Temple coming back fast.
East, good little spin. Tip drill to Garner, controlling the lane. Garner gets the bucket.
Garner using her size and her strength for the offensive rebound.
Timeout, Kim McNeil. Wow, we'll take the timeout. Tie game, the effort of Temple on the boards. Rumble, young woman rumble. 30 a pop here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back to Greenville. Big week in the American Athletic Conference. USF enters the national polls at number 24 overall. We've talked about Amaya Joyner a lot and Layla Blair, and then Coach Fernandez down at South Florida. That team not only is really good, undefeated in the conference, but tying and surpassing Gino Armiema for conference wins in the AAC.
I tell you what, they are just breaking records, and they are doing a phenomenal job. Again, top 25 poll. They're sitting at a great spot for postseason play. And
top 50 net is a big point, because you can get it as an at-large or as a conference champ.
It's just great for the conference, and just what success that they have had.
1 month until the end of the conference tournament, March 8th in Fort Worth, Texas. Johnson heads to the free throw line, because if you're a team like ECU or Tulsa and you're sitting with Houston 2, 3, 4, if you win the tournament, it looks like you might sneak in, but then you got to play well, as we see Johnson head to the line.
And it's going to take some grit and some heart, and Sania Johnson has that, just creating opportunities, just doing the little things, just getting to the rim.
Johnson makes her first free throw. She entered the lineup 4 games ago. It's basically the last 2-3 weeks. And her scoring's picked up, 6 points a game since the move. Nice rebound, McNeil, and draws 2 more free throws. Kim McNeil noted offensive rebounding is huge for her basketball team.
It is, and it's a detail. It's the dirty work before you've got to get in there, and
it's calling the zoning commission, it's calling the utility bill, it's getting everything laid out for the house, not just the concrete and the wood.
It is, and it just takes a lot of heart and hard work, and she noted today, McNeil, she's like, I really think she could probably have a little bit more rebounds than what she's averaging, but a great board right there from McNeil.
16 points, only 3 rebounds a game, which is kind of eye-popping when you look at it early in the year. Here's a step-back 3, Gary, that's off the side of the backboard, gets her own rebound. Great steal, Mosley. And a loose ball, tipped, East, down low Garner, pump fake, and 1! Temple can tie it at the line.
What ball movement from Temple. I don't know if we could have drawn that up any better, Evan.
If it was a baseball scorecard, it would be like 9-7-6, 5-4-3, but it works.
Look at this, Danae McNeil kind of blocked it. The pass to Garner, and again, great control. She kept the ball high. Phenomenal finish.
And it's a tie game, 33 a pop. A Temple team that lost by 20 on its home court to ECU just a month prior, January 11th. Nearly a steal for Gary. Where's this offense going to come from for ECU against the zone defense?
Gonna have to take ball movement.
As East knocks it out of play, clock remains at 11.
What's so difficult with a zone offense is you got to catch the ball first, right? But most importantly, after you catch the ball, you have to turn and face, look for cutters. You got to work the mid post and the short corners.
Temple switched up its defense a ton tonight. Man to zone to matchup zone. Diane Richardson pulling out all the stops. Joyner with 5. Into Garner and 1.
She's been looking for that roll all night, and she finally got it on this side of the floor. Great catch, nice scoop.
And found the right side of the rim. She's missed 4 of those in the first half.
Absolutely.
Thinking of double-doubles. Little Paige Bugs for Baylor, top 25 team, and then Reagan Beers for Oregon State, really good in the Pac-12, and then Amaya Joyner, a true freshman. Now the press is on. Temple's been able to break that press a ton tonight. East drives the baseline. Tough board down low. Micah Dennis, the smallest on the court, and she draws a foul.
One of the things I love about her as a point guard, she's a rebounding point guard. A guard to get it done in the boards, it's huge.
Kim McNeil is furious at Amaya Joyner right now. Some teaching moments for the true freshman.
Listen, she wants her to be the best that she can be, and that's on both ends of the floor.
So Micah Dennis, the Oklahoma State transfer, has thrived in the last 10 games. This is all since January, moving into the starting lineup. How much confidence does that give Money Mike, as the graphic calls it, with her now in the lineup?
She has just set a pace for this group that is really settling and has helped them in the half court to really be great and to get multiple people involved. Joyner, McNeil, And it's helped them be
3
successful.
assists a game, too, with the point guard role. Temple down 3. 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Only 8 players on the roster. All 8 have scored for the Owls tonight. Led by Nelson with 7. Here's Nelson again. Catch, shoot, short. Rebound, Garner. Tipped. Loose ball.
Great hustle.
Timeout, Joyner. We'll take the timeout. Hang around. And one's aplenty tonight. It started with Temple and Garner down low. It finishes with Joyner the other way. We have a 3-point game in the third quarter.
Oh, the alum. Great Wednesday night in Greenville, North Carolina. ECU up 3 over Temple. It's also Hump Day and Way Back Wednesday because we're going to go turn back the clock. 41 years. One of the biggest wins in program history. ECU at home takes down top 10 NC State. That was a tournament team of 82 for the Wolfpack, and of course for the Pirates, an All-American back in 82-83. What a fun little trip down memory lane. We have a great team that does great deep dives, research dives to find that awesome fact.
Great ball game tonight as well. 3-point difference. ECU can move to second place with a win in the AAC. Nelson the rebound on the miss. And Temple, since its roster changes to 8 players, has won 3 of its last 4, playing really good hoops. Garner, spin move, taking Joyner to work for the bucket.
Getting it done on the inside. Garner is using her body to her advantage. Huge finish. Temple hanging tough.
Garner's had a proliferous journey. Missouri to Prairie View A&M, now to Philly. All different corners of the country. Dennis kicks it out. Here's Mosley. Nice rebound, Joyner. That's her 7th board. Leads to a bucket. So nearly a double-double once again for Joyner.
Great little finger roll there. Backside rebound. Getting it done.
Kim McNeil said, I want Joyner to be so aggressive on the offensive glass. She can get back on defense eventually, but fight for those boards on the offensive end.
It is. She has what it takes to just catch and score inside.
Here's Nelson, dangerous. That's why her 3rd triple, covered her noggin.
Nelson, contagious.
Don't you see the Jamal Crawford?
I do.
Literally is a sharpshooter, playmaker. This is a fun player to watch. With a foul underneath. A ticky-tacky foul on Correa. That's her 4th. Look at this reaction.
East with the great pass to Nelson, wide open. That's something Kim McNeil told us before the game. One of their key points for victory was stop Nelson, know where she is at all times. And
in January they did, 6 of 16 shooting. Tonight, similar numbers, but she now has 10 points and playing a little better in the second half.
It is. You just can't let her get going in 3 threes. That's way too many for a good shooter like that.
1 point lead after the free throw for Morgan Mosley. East Carolina in league play, shooting at 61% from this charity stripe. With tax season coming up, you want to get those write-offs factored in before April, as she makes both. ECU's done a nice job holding on to this lead. Temple has crawled back multiple times, but has not led themselves since the 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, they're hanging tough, and they're just being very steady right now.
A 3 could give Temple the lead. Watch out for Nelson. She can shoot from this logo. East breaks down the D. Misses the jumper. Rebound Gary, and fouled. Once again, offensive rebounding leads to second chances.
It does, and it's just another opportunity for Temple to hang in there. They're running their half-court set, but then they're getting tough, and in the paint, you got to give it to them. It's just that second chance effort, and it's been a point of emphasis for the Pirates the last few weeks. Put a body on somebody and box out.
Kamora Jenkins subs in for Danae McNeil. How about that? As McNeil sits on 3 fouls, she'll probably sit out the rest of this quarter. As Gary misses the first free throw. Not a huge week of games, but important games in the AAC. SMU with a nice home win. And then tomorrow, Wichita State, who will come to Greenville this weekend, they face Tulane. As I mentioned, ECU with a win can move into second place in the AAC, and they know it.
This is a huge week of really a stretch in the last few weeks that a lot of moving and shaking is going to happen in this conference.
6 teams separated by 2 games as Joyner rattles it in. A nearly double-double, 14 and 7 for Mai.
Using the backboard, being simple. She's getting it done.
She's playing pinball with the rims today, but it's falling in her favor this time.
That's right. It's better on this side of the court.
I still don't get that. She cannot make a bucket from this side of the court, but the other side, nearly 100%.
That's right.
East on the drive. More fouls. I love how Temple's driving to the basket in the second half.
Their strength is at the free throw line. They know that, and they know that East Carolina is so tough defensively. So challenge that. See if you can draw a foul, and wow, they are doing that so well.
What if I told you the team that entered this game at 75% is shooting 46 from the free throw line?
I would have said you were a liar.
And what if I gave you a split box of a silhouette and said the other team that entered the game shooting 60% has made 78% of their free throws at ECU?
Oh, man.
And now Temple can't make a free throw, and they came in the best free throw team in the league. Look at these numbers.
That's why I don't bet. That's exactly why I don't bet.
You don't want to bet on it for NCAA rules, but then explaining this
Look at that
stat. I mean, Temple's so good at the line, and tonight they're not.
First in the conference, and tonight that is not what they are showcasing.
Tonight, Temple's left 9 points on the board at the line. In a 2-point game, that really matters. It's like those blind resumes you put on the board. It's like this team's beat 5 top 25 teams. They have 8 road wins. Nice save to Joyner. Now a loose ball. Look at this scrum. It's like the Leatherheads of the 1930s with John Krasinski battling for it. You ever see that movie Leatherheads about the first football teams of the 20s and 30s?
Can't say I have.
No, it's all good. The most important factor is it's like a pig scrum on the court. Those guys were just diving for the ball. It was mud. It was everywhere. We got pirate swords going.
Oh, my.
I'd pick her in a fight over those guys any day.
Put her on my team.
Now the officials are conferring. Is this a who touched it last situation? Our crew led by Carla Fountain, and they'll stick with the call. 7 seconds to shoot for the Pirates, up 2. Joyner on the attack. Garner holds her footing. Joyner heaves it up, and that bounces out. Garner's a force down low, having a great game.
She really is. Great presence inside and stopping Joyner when she can.
Now you got to give it to her. East on the drive. What a screen by Garner to clear space.
Downhill, East is so good in finishing inside. Her aggressiveness is paying off for Temple.
We have a tie game. Minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Dennis off the screen.
Temple in their zone defense right now, fighting through some screens. East Carolina has got to move the basketball.
Open jumper, it rolls out. Isis Adams couldn't hit. Nelson wants to give Temple its first lead since the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Nice pass. Gary for three. A bit short. Dennis didn't squeeze it. Now has to throw it inbounds and saves it to Joyner. Here's Herp for three. That one's off. Joyner the rebound. Give her 8. Little spin. Ooh, that ball's thrown up for a prayer.
Woo me.
Everyone's down on the ground.
No call.
Tie game, final minute. Here's a layup with a foul. Both teams begging for calls. Got to be careful for a technical here as Michaela Waleed heads to the free throw line.
The energy is high on both ends. Kim McNeil asking for a foul on her end. Waleed, again, back to Temple's strength. Get to the rim, get to the paint, draw a foul. Now, if they can convert on the free throw line, that's a question.
Tonight, that has not been the case. 8 of 17 from the line. The most missed free throws in league play for Temple. That's 11 games. It's not like a one-game sample size. That's a big.
It really is.
Here we go. There's a swish. First lead for Temple since the score was 10-8 in the second quarter.
It's been a grind out. And like I mentioned, Temple has stayed steady.
Look at Waleed fighting for the boards. Finds Solis for the layup. Temple up 3.
Another offensive rebound, +2.
13, 0 boards for Temple. Largest lead of the night. How can East Carolina answer? Here's Brittany Franklin checking in. Her first minutes, the Kansas transfer. Dennis is being dared to shoot. Rebound tipped. I don't know who touched that last. It'll stay here. Okay, East Carolina hasn't scored in 2 minutes. Where do they find offense down 3?
Definitely going to have to create opportunity, get to the rim, draw a foul. This group is not a great three-point shooting group. Danae McNeil for the day, no threes. So again, use their strength, get inside.
Here's Dennis. McNeil is fighting for space down low. Down to 9. Here's Franklin. Spins on Solis. Good defense. Tip drill. Nelson is begging for it, and it goes the other way. Good hustle by Aaliyah Nelson.
Sania Johnson in there battling.
Okay, 1.5 seconds, still a chance. Waleed. One of the rare times these teams hang on to it. And Brittany, the second chance effort at Temple's coming out tonight.
It really is. Those offensive rebounds have been huge for Temple. Solis inside for 2.
Cursed is the wrong word, but I've had a lot. Continuing our Black History Month awareness, Rosie Thompson was a great player at ECU from 75 to 80. She was the head coach, 92 to 95, and an administrator all the way to her retirement in 2015. And she ended her career as one of the all-time leading scorers. Diane Richardson, who was a great player herself, noted this week, we need examples of tremendous black athletes, black leaders, and that's what makes this matchup great. Two black head coaches, two administrators, leading these programs and leading the next generation.
Yeah, they wanted their players to see women like them, that look like them on the sidelines, so that they can have something to aspire to, whether it be as a collegiate coach or whatever it could be.
Look at Sania Johnson taking the turnover for a bucket, following the example of her head coach, Kim McNeil.
She does that so well. Sania Johnson is a leader for this group and does the little things so great, especially at the top of this zone defense. 9
fast break points for the Pirates. They live in transition on those steals.
Evan, I don't know about you, but you can feel the energy of this fourth quarter. Both of these teams stepping it up a notch.
Both teams know we're 30 days from the conference tournament, so things are amped up. What a steal by Dennis. Back-to-back turnovers. The Pirates' second most turnovers forced in the country. They've forced 12 tonight.
Temple here sitting in their zone defense. Kim McNeil told us yesterday their zone offense was a little rusty.
Look at Joyner clearing space. ECU back in front.
Starting the fourth quarter off strong for the Pirates.
Temple down 1. How do they jump back in front here early?
For them, it's going to be ball movement, and then offensive rebound has really been the name of their game. Let's see what they can do to take care of the basketball. That's something they need to do.
Johnson saved it, but to the wrong team. And now Nelson with 10 on the clock is tipped. The ball pressure of ECU's amped up.
It really is. You see Danae McNeil leading this group, getting a tip. That's contagious. Defense is contagious. Can they finish a stop with a rebound, most importantly?
Temple's been great on the boards, 12 offensive rebounds. Here's Nelson with 5 and a blocking foul. Okay, Brittany, you're 25 feet from the basket. You can't afford that foul if you're Micah Dennis.
No, you can, and that's what's so hard, right? It's an aggressive defense. You have to be clean. You have to be smart. And that's just, it's not worth it, a foul that far away from the rim.
Well, lead exits, and Karanda Perea re-enters. She's had some foul trouble in this game. Comes in with 4 fouls, 8:27 to go.
It's worth it to have her in the game.
Temple only has 8 players.
That's right.
You got 3 subs, and that's it.
You got 4 fouls, no problem. You're playing.
Nelson, look at this dribbling display. Whoa, McNeil takes it. Possession, ECU.
What a defensive stop.
That's like Kawhi Leonard putting his paw in there and taking it away.
Completely used it, her strength, her athleticism. Nice crossover from Nelson, but Danae McNeil said, no thank you.
Top 5 in steals is McNeil in this conference against one of the best scorers in Nelson. Now at the other end, Temple's given up 3 straight possessions of buckets. Can they get a stop down 1?
Mosley ducking in.
Good battle with Perea into the 4-foul defender for the lay-in.
That is how you work an assignment right there. Morgan Mosley going inside. Good too.
Here's a steal. Mosley. 4 turnovers forced for the Pirates in this quarter.
They have great energy right now, and they're finishing down low, which always helps, Evan.
Dennis runs the show. Dennis off the screen, gets downhill, into Nelson for a foul. And Micah Dennis taking advantage of that mismatch on defense.
That was a nice little horns action. Anytime you have a horns action, and Kim McNeil told us people were going under on screens, but if you go downhill tough, it's foul or finish. Micah Dennis drawing that foul.
There's an energy and intensity to this game, because ECU mopped the floor up with Temple in Philly, 21-point game.
And we knew Temple was going to come in and fight. You know, they've been doing well with 8 players on their team, and they have nothing to lose.
And defending Morgan Mosley is quite a challenge. You see her banging into bodies.
Tough, finding that position.
And then taking the ball away. So 6 points, 3 steals. Leads to an offensive board with her tip drill.
East Carolina doing the little things, trying to separate themselves, picks last in the conference.
Joyner gets it. 6-point lead.
Huge for Joyner inside.
Timeout Temple, and the Pirates have come to life. We'll take the timeout. ECU riding an 8-0 run. They are rolling in this fourth quarter.
You want to?
Welcome back to Greenville. The Stars have come to play tonight. Aaliyah Nelson with 10 to lead Temple, but Amaya Joyner, a double-double machine with 8 rebounds now tonight. She's 4th among all freshmen in ECU history. What a presence on the glass.
She really can average a double-double in her career, as you can see. Look at the records that she is chasing, the things that she has already done. So many Freshman of the Week already. She is truly chasing.
And those second chance points have been big. A 9-0 start to the quarter for ECU. Now Temple needs an answer. Down 6. Nelson can do it. Just a missed 3. Here comes McNeil in transition. Oh, so dangerous. Switches hands and one!
Danae McNeil. It finally fell for her in the second half.
Oh my goodness.
Crossover. A little bit of a reverse layup. You know, her strength is a pull-up, right? It'd be so easy for her to just have a pull-up jumper right there and settle. But she took it to the rim, used the backboard.
This is an 11-0 run for ECU. How does Temple break the streak on offense?
Well, for one, they have just got to see the ball go through the hoop. What was working for them earlier was executing and getting to the rim, getting 2 feet in the paint. But they've got to take care of the basketball, Evan.
Garner through the double, takes her time and draws the foul. That's where Temple's live. Free throws 20 and 21 coming up. Now, it's one thing to get to the line. You also have to make them. Temple's at 48% tonight from the line.
Definitely ironic for this group that's first in the conference.
And because both these teams are playing tough defense, it is hard to score. Temple's played much better, and ECU's defense always at this elite level. Top 10 in the country, as a matter of fact. Whoa. How do you explain this? A team that shoots 75% is less than 40 now tonight.
Yeah, you just look at fatigue, you look at Did they get a chance to shoot free throws in the gym earlier?
Oh my goodness, back-to-back misses for Garner.
As a head coach, she'll be overanalyzing everything about the free throw line later.
ECU could put this game in a big lead with a layup here. Joyner runs the lane but steps out of bounds. A bit ambitious.
It's such an athletic move for her to be able to do that. She has such great footwork, but a turnover nonetheless.
Temple is 3-1 since the roster was cut down to 8, but fatigue is now playing a factor in this fourth quarter.
Coach Richardson said stamina would be a factor. In East Carolina, it's tough.
Turnover up ahead. Here's Johnson in transition. Johnson makes it 10.
Defense to offense.
And now if you're Temple, that's 7 turnovers in this fourth quarter. No points.
They had been doing so well taking care of the basketball, too.
Garner might be the answer. Here's Gary. That's off the side of the backboard, and it goes the other way. All of a sudden, ECU's top 10 defense flexing its muscle.
They are getting stops and consistent stops. It's one thing to get one stop here and there, but they are getting multiple stops and they're scoring on the other end, which obviously helps.
We have a delay of game warning on both teams. There was some chirping after the play. The referee's keeping everybody in check here. Very physical altercation to start February. ECU with a win can move into second place in the AAC. Joyner, all the position in the world. Oh, it rolls in, and a technical on Garner. This play's about to go bonkers.
It is, Evan. The emotion has been high on both of these teams. Great high-low. East Carolina's been doing that all night. Amaya Joyner finally gets the roll. Garner swatted at the basketball. Technical called there.
And the technical's right here on the reaction. You can sense the frustration for Temple.
It's tough. It's been a battle inside, you know? I mean, they are going head-to-head, both battling for position on both ends.
So what has changed in this 5-minute stretch? It's a 15-0 run.
Well, it starts with finishes. Amaya Joyner came out with that first finish of the fourth quarter. And from there, it's been stop, score. And that's something Kim McNeil said they work on in practice. Get a stop and then score immediately. And they've done that so well.
Because this game has been trading body blows the whole matchup. First half, boom, boom, boom. And then in the fourth quarter, nothing's gone well offensively. Referee explaining the situation here. So the technical, 3 free throws and possession. That's a game-changing moment here for Garner.
It really is, and Temple had been so tough and so tight coming into this fourth quarter, but East Carolina has really taken the reins and taken control of this basketball game.
So Joyner gets the first free throw. Now the coaches choose who shoots the next 2. And this is like penalty kicks in the World Cup. Out goes Joyner, in comes McNeil.
Next.
Here comes Lionel Messi to put this game away from the free throw line. Okay, if I told you ECU was the worst free throw shooting team in the league and Temple was the best, the roles have completely reversed tonight as ECU's at 75%.
Unreal. I mean, I would have told you were a liar. I would have. And I'm telling you, look at this.
The numbers aren't great entering tonight. And all of a sudden, 17-24, that's flipping the script. 71%. Our producer, Bo Bailey, much better at math than me. ECU has outscored Temple 17-0 in the quarter. Here's East in transition. Temple needs a bucket. Down 14. Perea for 3. It's a bit strong. Rebound Johnson, and a shutout continues.
Again, great time for East Carolina right now to control the clock. The clock is in their favor. Can they execute in the half court?
And who can guard Joyner down low? Good pass. Mosley 3. Gary, big rebound. Temple has got to find a way to score here in this fourth quarter.
Again, know where Nelson is.
She is hanging out in the corner waiting for the basketball. Here's Nelson looking for a foul, not called. And Johnson wisely hangs on to it. This is a 17-0 run in the fourth quarter.
Unreal.
Kim McNeil said this game will be a statement for our club, not overlooking the first performance. Win by 21. Can they maintain in game 2?
Yeah, it's so psychological, right, when you play someone a second time, especially when you've won the first time.
There's a 3 and a key call on ECU and Mosley. And that win was wire to wire in Philly. A little different tonight, but all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, something's changed.
Correct, and I think Kim McNeil, what her message to her group all week has been, they're better, they're better, they're better. In Temple, they have been doing so well as of late. Again, lost a tough one at Houston. So again, back-to-back tough defensive opponents. It's hard, Evan.
And we're up 3 entering the fourth quarter, but that has changed in a hurry. East, little tussle, goes back up with it and one. Don't count out the Owls just yet.
East is so good inside. Great cut to the rim. That's the greatest play in basketball, the give and go.
And then the give and go to the other team, and then gives it back to you, and then you give it off the backboard.
That's right.
Okay, these numbers are drastic. 9 of 21, 10 of 22 from the line. Down 11. This possession is huge for Temple defensively. And ECU could put this game away with a bucket.
Absolutely, and Leah Nelson trying to get her group going defensively.
A foul will not help. That now puts ECU in the bonus the rest of the game.
East has been guarding Danae McNeil so tight, has made it difficult for her to cut, to move without the basketball. She's been doing her job.
Danae McNeil leading the charge for the Pirates. She's up to 14 points with that free throw. And really her active hands on defense leading to good offense the other way.
She has had to earn every one of them.
3 more steals tonight.
Yeah, she's tremendous on the defensive end.
All of a sudden, this game is ballooned to a 13-point difference. Temple led by 3 after the third quarter. I feel like this is let Leah Nelson go to work. Little Kobe Bryant action in the fourth. Let her score. Perea off on the jumper. And a foul. That's Solis reaching in. I do love that a team has to conquer its own kryptonite to win a game like this. In East Carolina, 27 and 28 free throw attempts for entering tonight, the worst team in the league from the line.
It says something, too, going into the final month, right? Because this is when it matters. And it just gives you that confidence of, hey, it doesn't matter who we were or what we've done. We can make free throws and we can get it done at the foul line. They're defying odds.
20 of 27 from the line, and the lead's now up to 15.
What a fourth quarter.
When ECU makes more free throws than their opponent, they're 5-1 in this building. Looks to be a 6-1 in a couple of minutes. There's Perea through the zone. Backdoor slip is stolen. And possession stays here. So not a turnover, but almost.
Temple's done a really good job of working that backdoor cut versus this zone defense. But that time, East Carolina got a hand on it. But they have got a lot of really good looks with their ball movement and movement without the basketball as well.
Nelson to trigger, down 15. Keep in mind, neither of these teams shoot the lights out from 3 as that ball goes through the hands of Garner. And Temple's 17th turnover.
Perea trying to get that high-low look, but just couldn't deliver it the right pass to Garner. 8
turnovers in the fourth quarter. That's been the bugaboo for the Owls.
It really has. Morgan Mosley so good with the basketball in her hand.
Ooh, Joyner cleared some space, gets a rebound, and flings it off the backboard. Second chance, no. Third chance is in. The jumper, McNeil.
Nice little short corner floater. I can do that.
Way to pad your stats. Joyner with her third straight double-double, 21 and 11. You got to count it a rebound, I guess,
That's right.
2 minutes to go. The Pirates riding their duo to a 17-point lead. Garner wiggles and misses through the lane.
Great step through from Garner. Just couldn't get it to fall.
That's rebound 12. The Pirates have held Temple to 3 points in this fourth quarter.
What a stat.
And that's why ECU's defense gives up 54 points a game. Top 5 in the country.
Great patience from East Carolina.
The jumpers are not falling tonight, but the O boards are playing a factor. Joyner cleans it up, give her 23 and 13.
Joyner, nice simple finish. Got the roll.
How about the effort of Joyner? Not the best first half, but she's come to play in the second.
She has. She didn't let those 2 fouls take her out. Again, a great player says, hey, I didn't have a great first half, but second half is a new time, and she has made her mark tonight.
This is an 8-0 run for ECU, putting the game out of reach. Perea cancels the run, gets Temple to 50.
Perea, she's truly emerged in the last few games. Not the best night tonight, but she is tough for this Temple team.
This fan base can taste it. A chance for second place in the AAC after just 4 wins in the conference last year. East quiets the crowd, finds Nelson, and the first fourth quarter points for Leah Nelson.
It's definitely been a little bit of a dry quarter for Temple. You can just see their energy is a little depleted, if you will. East Carolina took control of the game with their defense and converting on the offensive end.
A 25-7 run in this fourth quarter put this game out of reach. Micah Dennis runs the show with 8. Now shoots a 3. Oop. May have thought otherwise the next time, as that will go the other way. Probably the only mistake in this fourth quarter for the Pirates.
They have had a great fourth quarter, very clean fourth quarter.
Enjoy the last few minutes of Aaliyah Nelson. She is fun to watch. Garner buries into her defender. And the fourth quarter woes continue. How about East Carolina? Preseason number 11 in the AAC. They are playing way beyond those expectations. 7-4 in the conference with a dominant fourth quarter against Temple.
And a year of firsts, of beating so many different programs on the road. Kim McNeil has turned this team, this program around. What a season.
You don't see it on her face, but Kim McNeil's a happy camper, led by Joyner with 23. McNeil has 17, and those two barely played in the first half. They took over with Joyner in the second half.
They really did, and it was a point of emphasis and concern for the Pirates in that first half, but they got the roles in the second half. Evan, Amaya Joyner, she went to work. A nice high-low passes. She had some great catches and finishes in the paint. I tell you what, she really just used her shoulders, her body way better in the second half.
And she started hitting the rim the right way. Not one, not two, but 3 and 1s for Joyner.
Anytime you can get her involved in the offensive boards, it's only gonna help as well.
That's a career high for Amaya Joyner. She had 19 previously, now 23. And what do you know, another double-double for Amaya Joyner. And guess what? We have the winning head coach, Kim McNeil. Okay, Kim, so in that first half, Joyner in foul trouble, McNeil in foul trouble. What changed in the second half for your club?
Yeah, I felt like we were whining too much. You know, complaining to the refs, you know, wanting a call made on every time we get to the hole. Well, sometimes they're not going to call stuff. You got to play through it. To me, that shows a sign of weakness. So I just told them at halftime, play through it. Don't go up to get fouled. Go up to score. But our third quarter, I didn't like it. I was really mad after the third quarter, so I lit in them a little bit at the timeout, and they responded.
You lit into Amaya Joyner a couple of times,
yes,
which is one, fun to watch, but then two, she responds with another double-double. How did she step up tonight?
You guys haven't seen how good she really is, and she doesn't know how good she really is. So I have to keep my foot on her to keep her going because she hasn't even showed you guys the tip of the iceberg of how good she really is.
And then in that fourth quarter, you started an 18-0 run. Really close game. How did ECU pull away in the fourth?
Defense. That's what we do. Defense. Got stops. I thought we got really lazy and lackadaisical in the third quarter. Allowed just simple penetration, open shots. Challenged them at the fourth quarter to defend. We defended. We got out. We got transition. It's
a busy week, but 7-4 in the conference. How do you reflect on the growth from what we've seen last year to now 7-4 in the league?
Yeah, I mean, not just last year, but even the previous 3 years. You know, it's been a process. You know, at times it's been really tough, but you know, the team has stuck with us. Administration has stuck with us. My staff is unbelievable. You know, we knew it was going to be a process, and it's just so good to see it finally starting to develop all of the hard work, but we still got a lot of games left to play.
Yeah, game on Sunday as well. So thank you for the time, Kim.
Yeah, thank you.
Winning head coach Kim McNeil, her club pulls away in the fourth quarter. For Brittany Hoyt, I'm Evan Budrovich. Entertaining basketball game, and ECU pulls away in the fourth quarter. This is a presentation of ESPN. The Pirates move to 7-4 in the AAC. This is a presentation of ESPN. ECU wins it by 15.